Ever pondered on the who really owns your property question? It might seem like a simple answer, but the intricacy of forfeiture laws and the parens patriae doctrine might make you reconsider. Forfeiture laws, both state and federal, have a tumultuous history. They trace their roots to the 17th century maritime law, being used to seize ships involved in smuggling. Over time, these laws developed and broadened, becoming a tool for law enforcement agencies to seize assets linked to criminal activities. However, the introduction of the parens patriae doctrine further complicated the scenario, creating a conflict of interest and raising questions about the constitutionality of courts in quasi-jurisdictions. These are places where administrative law agencies bring in cases not under RICO statutes, thereby further blurring the property ownership issue. In the 1980s, during the apex of the war on drugs, forfeiture laws went through a critical transformation. The laws were broadened to permit law enforcement agencies to seize property suspected of being involved in drug trafficking, even lacking a criminal conviction. This crucial shift marked a new era in the use and potential abuse of forfeiture laws. When navigating the labyrinth of law, it's critical to understand the distinct roles of administrative law jurisdiction and constitutional law jurisdiction within the United States legal system. Administrative law jurisdiction, often referred to as statutory jurisdiction, operates within the framework of laws enacted by legislative bodies. It deals with the decision-making of administrative units of government like federal agencies, commissions, and boards. On the other hand, constitutional law jurisdiction stems directly from the U.S. Constitution, serving as the bedrock of our legal system. It addresses the implementation and interpretation of the U.S. Constitution and the laws and regulations that are in line with it. This jurisdiction ensures the protection of fundamental rights and adherence to principles such as the separation of powers doctrine and the 9th and 10th Amendments, which respectively protect rights not specifically enumerated in the Constitution and reserve powers not delegated to the federal government to the states or the people. A noteworthy aspect of constitutional law jurisdiction is the veteran oath, a solemn vow to support and defend the Constitution. This oath, taken by every U.S. military service member, underscores the commitment to uphold the Constitution, even when it might conflict with administrative law. In conclusion, while both administrative and constitutional law jurisdictions operate within the broader legal framework, they serve distinct purposes and are governed by different principles. The understanding of these jurisdictions is key to unraveling the complexities of forfeiture laws, as it sheds light on the delicate balance between government regulation and individual rights. Fast forward to the present day, and here we find the landscape of forfeiture laws is a complex web of state and federal regulations. 35 states have overall grades of D+ or worse, offering property owners minimal protections and providing law enforcement with substantial financial incentives through forfeiture proceeds. Federal civil forfeiture laws, on the other hand, have been dubbed among the nation's worst, scoring a meager D.O. But amidst this gloomy picture, there's a silver lining. New Mexico stands as a beacon of hope, earning the nation's only A grade for abolishing civil forfeiture and removing any financial incentive, by directing forfeiture proceeds to the states general since the last part of policing for profit. 32 states and the federal government have adopted some form of forfeiture reform. However, these reforms have largely missed addressing the core issues with civil forfeiture laws. The Civil Asset Forfeiture Reform Act of 2000 attempted to establish general rules related to civil forfeiture proceedings, including notification requirements for seized property and civil forfeiture proceedings. But even with these changes, the act fell short of providing comprehensive reform. Moving on, the current state of forfeiture laws raises many questions about the balance between law enforcement's needs and individual property rights. It's a complex issue, but one that affects us all. So what can you do about it? Start by educating yourself about the laws in your state. Understand your rights and the protections or lack thereof that are available to you. Get involved in local advocacy efforts to reform forfeiture laws. And finally, don't forget to hold your lawmakers accountable. After all, true change begins with informed and active citizens. We've talked about the need for comprehensive reform, but to fully understand the complexity of forfeiture laws, let's delve into a legal principle that further muddles the waters: the parens patriae doctrine. This principle, with its roots in English common law, allows the state to act as a parent for those who are unable to care for themselves. In the context of forfeiture laws, the parents patriae doctrine is often invoked to justify the seizure of assets on the grounds that it's for the public good. But here's where the conflict of interest seeps in. The state, acting as the parent, stands to benefit from the assets it seizes. This could potentially incentivize asset seizures even when it's not entirely justified or fair. This doctrine, originally intended to protect the vulnerable, can sometimes lead to questionable practices in the realm of forfeiture laws. It's another angle to consider in the ongoing debate over forfeiture law reform. As we continue to navigate this complex landscape, it's vital to question and scrutinize these doctrines and their applications. Only then can we hope to strike a balance between the needs of law enforcement and the rights of individuals. Before we conclude our discussion on forfeiture laws, let's explore a legal term that encapsulates the rights of the natural person, sui juris. This Latin term, meaning of one's own right, refers to the legal capacity of an individual to manage their own affairs and hold rights and duties. It is a concept that is fundamental to the understanding of individual rights in the face of the law. In the context of forfeiture laws, this understanding of sui juris can serve as a beacon of empowerment. It can help individuals to better protect their property rights against unjust seizures. As we've seen, forfeiture laws can sometimes blur the lines between the state's responsibility to protect the public and the individual's right to their assets. Understanding and asserting our status as sui juris, or capable of managing our own affairs, can help us navigate this complex landscape. It can help us challenge unjust seizures and ensure that the parents patriae doctrine is not misused to infringe upon our rights. With this understanding of sui juris, we can better present and protect the rights of the natural person in the face of complex legal systems like forfeiture laws. This is a crucial step towards a more equitable and fair legal landscape where individual rights are respected and upheld. In our exploration of forfeiture laws, sui juris, and the rights of the natural person, we've only scratched the surface. This complex landscape of legal rights and jurisdictions is continually evolving and requires ongoing study and understanding. We urge you to dive deeper into these topics. To aid you in this journey, we have compiled a list of valuable resources that can provide further information and insight. These include books, articles, and court cases that delve into the intricacies of forfeiture laws, the concept of sui juris, and the rights of the natural person. We highly recommend reviewing these resources to broaden your understanding and equip yourself with the tools necessary to navigate this complex legal landscape. Remember, knowledge is power. The more we understand about our rights and the laws that govern us, the better we can protect ourselves and our assets. Please find the link to these resources in the video description below. Remember, this is just the beginning of your journey.